What's going on, everybody? Happy 4th weekend. Just gonna buzz through some updates, and got a bunch of stuff to do today. So this one's doing amazing. These other ones are gimping by. The one from the previous place I purchased looks like it's dying out, and the two gingers, they're doing pretty good. They're a little skinny, but you know, that's the way it goes. Fairly early on Sunday, not early, I mean it's like 9:30, but it should be only in the 90s today, only. Looks like we've had a little wind blowing things around today. Blackberries are starting to come back from, I guess we'll call it over fertilizing is my guess. The smaller ones are starting to sprout up pretty good, so that's really cool. Not a lot going on Cucumber and Bean Alley. They're pretty sad. Between the heat and things, I mean, there's a few still popping up. But for the amount of plants, there's not a lot of stuff growing. There's that donor cucumber that's kind of hanging out, laying down. It's a little greener. I'm not sure. I'm guessing that's the same plant between the dark and the off-colored leaves. Put in camera to check out, well, we'll come back to that, but put in another camera. These beans are coming back a little bit, where these are pretty much died off and the cucumbers have taken over. The rattlesnake beans never really took off, and I haven't been taking good care of them either, so some of them are old. So I'll just kind of collect the seeds from those. The Blue Lake beans have been kind of struggling. I need to hit these since they're in the self-wicking buckets. I need to get some hydroponic solution in there, but there are some beans that are growing. I probably need to pick the couple that are on here to keep the plants going, but there's a good sized bean that's ready to eat. Picked up a plastic owl. Something's been eating some of my berries and my tomatoes. Those I picked and threw out there. I'm going to take care of those. That's not from an animal, but something's crawling around in here. Kind of got things backwards, so it looks like we had a little bit of wind, so that's leaning a bit. But there's a fair amount of tomatoes. That's the purple Cherokee. And you can see from back here the Husky cherry tomatoes. Got a bunch ripening, and I pulled some off earlier this week. The black creme is where I've had something in there. A bird or a rodent is in there chewing up those tomatoes. And the sun gold or sun sugar starting to blossom pretty well. I'm going to pick or harvest potatoes. I'm going to tackle this one. I'm hoping that's a Kennebec, and I'm guessing that's a Norland, because these two are red Pontiacs. I'm guessing that's the Norland. These two I know are Kennebecs in the white buckets, because I had them backwards. I tried to map things out, and I'm not sure what these two are. One might be Yukon, and one could be a red. See if I can't let these two over here gimp along for another week, and I could let these go another week. We'll see. I don't think they're really growing much. The leaves are pretty yellow. heck of a lot else going on. See if I can try to keep this short today. Figs are doing wonderful. That's the big update is, I don't even know if I like them. I don't know if I mentioned that. But anyways, we've got 5 or 6 figs doing their thing. And considering this is the first year, or less than a year I've had it, I think it's doing okay. Looks like I got 3 out of the 6 or 8 dill that survived from the heat in growing. The pepperoncinis that I canned, I don't know if I mentioned it, they came out terrible. They were so mushy that they weren't even edible, but looks like this plant's ready to get picked again. Not bad for 2 weeks, right? The big Bertha Peppers, they don't look like big Berthas. That's a good sized bell pepper, but the big Berthas are supposed to be longer. But whatever, they're growing well. There's one that's got a couple of them getting hit by the sun. There's a big old banana pepper sticking out. So these 2 are banana peppers. These serranos are starting to get a little bit of size on them now. So these are in the picking range finally. And then we've got our red lunchbox. They're just starting to turn color. There's a couple dozen on here, so that has been a really good plant. The tomato cages have been wonderful for the pepper plants. The giant crimson, or the rare giant crimson, I've got one here and a few blossoms. Looks like some of them are crispied up. There's another one hiding over there. The Cattleya Bella is doing pretty well, and I need to get a cage around this Sweet 100. I was thinking about taking this and throwing it in one of the things with the cattle panel and see how it grew up there, since the beans aren't doing too great, but we'll see. Either that or I'll just stick I've got 2 more tomato cages. The only purple sweet potato out here that's surviving is that one. These are basically shriveled up in the heat. I tried to protect them, but we'll see what happened with this one. Yeah, it just croaked. Raspberries, I think, are slowly coming back. I think I over-fertilized those as well. The bigger apple tree keeps dropping apples from the heat and the wind, so I'm probably down 1/3 or more of what was on there. And the lemon tree that was doing so great, it dropped. Looks like it dropped the big one that was on there, so we're starting over. This smaller one's got, I don't know, 4 or 5. I read about this thing called June drop, which I don't know if it's that or because I over fertilized, but it's where a lot of the, notice they dried up, turn black, and they fall off. So a boatload of these turn black or are turning black, and they're going to fall off. I mean, you can see all the apples falling, and they're not even ready to eat. They're a Fuji or something. I don't remember what the other flavor was. The lime tree is doing really well. 2, 3. Yeah, considering that's the first fruit. It's just weird. It looks like it's dry, but there's plenty of water in here. The leaves aren't dry. It just doesn't like the weather changes. And then here's the other lime. Not as tall, but plenty of fruit going on in there. And they were blueberries. Like I said, the birds are eating it. which kind of sucks, right? But and then these are gimping along, so they're just not all that big to handle the heat. So these were the $6 or $7 ones, but these are all peach sorbets, just like this one. They're meant to be a patio bush blueberry. And that's it, and my plastic owl. So if I decide to do potatoes, I'll try to throw them in where the potatoes are. You would have already seen that by now if it happens. But other than that, thanks for watching.